Hello and welcome to Psyched for Sanity. I am one of your hosts, Dr. Brendel Doss. I'm a licensed psychologist specializing in forensic and clinical psychology with areas of interest in attachment. Nope, that's you. Why do I do that recently? Why do I do that? That's not my area, guys. That's not accurate.
Me, guys.
I do. No, I focus on assessment, child treatment, trauma, and geriatric psychology in addition to forensic psychology.
And I'm Dr. Tara McKelvey Parker. I'm also a licensed clinical psychologist.
You are.
I specialize in
She
attachment
does, not
theory.
me. I don't know what's
You
wrong.
know quite a lot about attachment theory.
I do.
To be fair.
I do,
but yes, I specialize in assessing and treating complex trauma and attachment wounds from childhood.
Yes.
And so today's episode is going to be about attention and where we place our attention, because I read an article that said that for the average person, we're only really paying attention to like the present moment, like less than 50% of the time.
Sheesh.
Like more than 50% of the time, we're in our heads thinking about completely different things.
Right.
And I was like, that is actually a staggering amount of time.
Right.
And so I thought, okay, why?
Why?
Why are we spending less than 50% of the time
In the moment.
So that
Okay.
was sort of the reason why
Interesting.
I wanted to do the episode, and why, I found the article interesting.
Yeah,
and
I think it's so
we can cite
fascinating.
it too in the show notes.
Yeah, I think it's so fascinating that this had not occurred to me, but I have an interesting sort of like toggle. I definitely think my history, and you would say that I'm definitely someone that is future focused, right?
Yeah.
And very goal oriented.
Yes.
But I really think in the past 6 months specifically, I've been much better at staying in the moment.
Oh, nice. Good for you. Good
I
for you.
know.
It's very hard to do.
Thanks, Nick. That's my therapist. But what is?
I'm sure he loves that shout out. I would love a shout out.
Nick's
That'd be great.
Nick's a great guy.
Yeah.
But I think staying in the moment is hard for a lot of people.
Yes.
What do you think makes it hard for folks?
Well, it's hard because I actually do think evolutionarily, like what the research shows is that like our brains are programmed to anticipate the future,
Right.
and problem solve and plan and analyze.
Yes.
So like if you are having a hard time staying present, it is not because there is anything wrong with you.
Right.
50% of the time, folks, on average, it's just because that's the way that our brains were designed.
Right.
But there are some more psychological reasons why, too. I think we have a hard time staying focused in the present moment.
Yeah.
And maybe one of the biggest ones to me is that we live in a culture where productivity is highly praised.
Right.
So
Protestant work ethic.
Protestant work ethic. So we are constantly busy.
Yeah, like what is valued in a lot of Western civilization, with Western culture, is like working a lot, being busy, being active, always doing things, and not necessarily holding still.
Overly scheduling social functions or
Yes.
being busy at work.
Right.
It just always feels like there's something to do. And it does, I feel like, take intentional effort to not schedule things.
Right.
Like even on the weekends, like with my kids,
Yes.
like I want to like keep busy and like schedule things and like do fun things. I'm like, wait a second, you should chill.
Yeah, just hold still.
Just hold still and chill. But
I think we had this conversation also in this similar vein, where sometimes folks that stay really, really scheduled and really, really busy, and they might be avoiding
absolutely that's
holding
me.
still.
Yeah.
But I think we've also talked about this in the same vein of sometimes folks will even be, and I'm guilty of this, transparently. I'll be like resting, but I'll be watching a TV show and also on my phone.
That's the thing. Yeah, rest. We don't actually.
So is that really
rest?
rest?
I used to be. I remember. So my own therapist. Speaking of therapists, she gave me an assignment to go like take 5 hours to myself and to slow down and like really be in the present moment. And I was like, okay, easy. I want this. I remember being at Target because that's where I picked to go.
Of course.
I was like, because I wanted to browse slowly and not like there was a fire being lit under my house. Like, because that's what it feels like sometimes for me. I'm like, got to go fast.
Right.
So I was like, I'm gonna browse.
I'm going to leisurely browse.
Oh my gosh.
What happened?
It was so hard.
To hold still and go slow.
I could feel the tension building up in my body. Like I want to move fast. I want to do the next thing. I want to like get going. I have a lot of time urgency.
Right.
And so it was hard. I'm way better at it now. But I definitely like am guilty of like watching something like scrolling Facebook Marketplace and like designing my
As we all
apartment.
do.
Yeah.
And then also have something in the background too.
Yes, I am like notorious for having podcasts on in the background. And it's almost like this in between zone of like totally not being present and being present.
Right.
Like I don't have to put in a lot of effort and then I'm not alone. Because when my podcast isn't on or when the TV's not on, I feel more lonely.
And maybe that's something you're looking to avoid.
Correct. Loneliness is something I am looking to avoid. And having things unfinished is really uncomfortable for
Right.
me. So I like to like close loops.
Sure. That makes
Fast.
sense. That makes sense.
Yeah. So people definitely avoid certain emotional experiences.
Right.
And so then they want to
staying busy.
occupy their attention and stay busy.
Right. So it's not necessarily that you have an attention problem. You have an avoidance problem, potentially.
Well, and this is like a fascinating question to ask and to sort of like tease apart when we're doing ADHD evaluations.
all the time.
Right?
Tease these two apart.
Because there are lots of reasons why people have trouble focusing.
Yes.
And it absolutely can be because you're zoned out. Or it could be because you're doing multiple things at once because you don't want to sit with how you feel.
Or what your experience
Or
is.
what you're overly analyzing in your brain constantly all the things.
Yes.
And you know, that's not necessarily ADHD
No, yeah.
as much as an avoidance or a defense or,
Right.
you know, a coping mechanism
Absolutely.
for uncomfortable experiences, for sure.
Yeah, and I think rest is really hard. And rest is not valued like we talked about. And it doesn't, like, there has been some pushback against like burnout culture and things, I think, in the past couple of years.
That's true. That's
And
true.
I think there's been like a trying to balance that narrative.
Work-life balance.
Right. But I think even in, that's what I talked about, that's why the example of being on your phone while the TV's on, even that, is it really rest?
No, I don't think so. No, I would not. It can be relaxing, right? It can be because it's the way that
Sure.
you're coping. So it's
Right.
nice to have your attention sort of divided and to have things
Yeah.
on in the background, and it can feel, yeah, definitely relaxing. But rest in terms of like your body being calm.
Yeah. You know, and I thought you brought up a good example when we were kind of talking about or like discussing this episode is how often when you're in line waiting for something, do you look at your
Oh
phone?
my gosh, I am like so yes. This
Right?
is and when I feel more anxious in life, this is worse.
Okay. Makes sense.
Definitely on my phone more. I'm just like, man, I'm like, God, put your phone down.
Mm-hmm.
It can be, yes. And so I try to really purposely like, no, put it down,
Right.
be in line, just like notice what's around you.
Yeah, and I think like I thought about this. I think a lot of the time. So, do you know the time period during the day when you literally are like you kind of have to shift into like actual rest?
Yeah, sleep time. This is why people have a hard time going
This
to
is
sleep.
exactly why people have a hard time.
They stay busy
transitioning
all
to
day.
sleep,
They stay busy all day.
and they don't allow for
Actual rest. Yeah.
rest. And so, rest is not sleep.
No.
Rest is a precursor to get you to sleep in a way. Like if you cannot let your mind rest.
I think
without
rest
distraction.
maybe maps onto like parasympathetic nervous system activation. Like you feel calm and safe and content in your body and you're present and you're noticing what's around you
Right.
without actively trying to think or do,
Yes.
which is challenging because our bodies often are kind of programmed culturally, biologically
yes, both.
to like act and think and do.
Why is rest and why is this like noticing these moments so important?
Well, I think like we did a whole episode on happiness.
We did love that episode.
Yes. And we talked all about how, happy
Mm-hmm.
is really about being content.
Mm-hmm. Calm,
Parti-
comfortable, confident contentment.
Yeah. Particularly like in ordinary moments, like day-to-day moments.
Right.
So if we're not really focused on the present moment very often, like less than 50% of the time, then we're really robbing ourselves of opportunities to kind of be able to be content just in, while we're drinking coffee in the morning, like
Right.
appreciating and feeling grateful for those things.
Yeah, I think those kind of moments of stillness are something that I feel like that's why I thank Nick, because I think I've
Mhm.
gotten a way better at holding still in the still moments and noticing
That's great.
the moments that are actually happiness. And our happiness episode, for those of you that have not watched that, definitely check it out. It's one that we really loved, but it's
Yeah.
basically happiness isn't Christmas morning. It's the small moments of like real stillness and appreciation and connection with the moment, really.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the kind of calm that you're talking about.
Yeah. It's kind of it's like kind of challenging because there is happy in the sense of like happy emotion, Christmas morning.
Sure, that
But
exists.
to be content and quote unquote happy or to have like a happy, healthy life.
Yeah.
Yeah. You kind
Not
of
every day is Christmas morning.
absolutely. And you have to be able to tolerate,
Mm.
the ordinary stuff and the hard stuff. And, like when you get to have Christmas morning and you have those moments of like
Right.
pure happiness and excitement. So you need to be able to like be in the present moment to be able to
Yeah.
experience the ordinary moments and then to be,
Exactly.
because otherwise you'll be like me. And I feel like I often fall into this thing called the I'll be happy win trap.
Oh, yeah. Been there.
I remember telling people before I went to grad school,
Oh,
they're
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
why are you even going to grad school? Like, don't you know it's going to be like 10 years and you're going to like have no fun? And I was like,
I'll be happy
guys,
when.
I'll be happy when I'm done with grad school. I'll have fun when I'm done with grad school. Like,
When I'm licensed, I'll be happy.
when I'm licensed, I'll be happy.
When
right?
I have
When I'm like
a thriving practice, I'll be happy.
when I buy a house, I'll be happy.
Yep.
When I go on that vacation,
Right.
I'll be happy.
When I have kids, anything.
I'll be happy.
Put any kind of thing and I'll be happy. It's the trap, right?
Well, yeah, and then you get to that thing
And
and
then
you're
guess
like,
what?
well, crap. I mean, I was happy for a little bit. That was really great. I
Right.
achieved that thing, but like,
Not
wait a
ultimate-
second. Like,
right.
I'm still not okay with being in the moment in these
Right.
ordinary spaces. Like, I feel like this is like life should be more than I
Right.
start getting really existential.
Well, to your bigger point, I had a patient a while back that mentioned this. They had saved up for a big purchase and they had been able to purchase it, and they were upset that they didn't experience happiness at the big moment. And that's a real awareness
They didn't even
piece.
experience the Christmas morning
They,
feeling.
exactly, because they were unable to connect to the ordinary
just
moment.
the ordinary moment. So I think it's tricky because and so I'm not as good. I don't think.
I think I've gotten a lot better.
At like doing that's something I'm actively working on now.
Right.
It's
Still-
harder.
still- I don't want
it's
anyone
harder
to think
to
that
do.
I'm like, got it locked.
Well,
Nick would say I don't.
It takes mindfulness,
It takes
like it takes
attention.
so like there's a reason why mindfulness is like a really big buzzword right
Absolutely.
now. And this is not
It has been for years.
necessarily an episode on mindfulness.
No,
don't,
but we should do that
it's
too.
like impossible to mindfulness, by the way, is being able to be like present in the present moment, like notice what's around you or notice what's happening in your body without being dragged away or distracted. Like you
Right.
can be kind of in the moment. And so it's a muscle. It takes a lot of work.
Yeah, it does.
You
Yeah.
have to really actively practice it unless,
A lot of people get annoyed with that, I think.
I get
I have.
annoyed with it. I get annoyed
I
with
have
it.
in the past.
I
Yeah.
know, because I'm like, it's one of those things like deep breathing. I hear mindfulness. I'm like, okay.
Well, you
Because it feels so
you already
hard.
know how I feel about deep breathing.
I know.
have gotten better. I've learned.
Well, and I
And-
actually really love deep breathing for me and for people. And I've done a 180. And mindfulness is one of those things where I'm working on doing it better. So until I
Okay.
can do it better, I'm like,
Sure.
man. No, not really. It's really important, but it's really just a few minutes. Like this has helped me get a little bit more on board with the mindful.
Okay.
Intellectually, of course, I know it's important, but emotionally, I'm like, that's hard.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm not going to do it. But I am. And it helps when I'm like, okay, just notice and come back to the present for just a second.
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah.
a minute.
Yeah, like
Just like-
expect the mind to wander, but if you can hold yourself in stillness for a few seconds without
you're
punishment.
build capacity for it.
Oh, yeah.
Build capacity for laying and doing nothing.
Not on your phone.
Not on your phone.
Not planning your next meal.
Yeah, not like thinking and worrying and analyzing and
Right.
like being like 2 weeks ahead,
Right.
Like just be in your
Right.
room and noticing what's happening and, enjoy the feeling of relaxation and rest in your body.
Why? What emotions or what things we kind of talked about this, but what things are people avoiding in these moments? I mean, I'm thinking anxiety.
Well, for me, definitely anxiety. Like I feel like, I don't like unfinished things.
Right.
It's kind of, it's like a little bit of an obsessive compulsive need to close the loop. So I get a little bit like in my anxiety, kind of like wanting to control things
Finished.
and do
Mhm.
and organize. So that's definitely something for me that I have to recognize and notice and like try to stop that
Okay.
in the moment so
Okay.
I can kind of rest and relax for sure.
I think the first step is it's like this is what I would always encourage folks, my patients is The first tip is awareness. Even if it's awareness that you're not doing what you're not able to hold still for those few seconds, just start there and then build on that. Once you have that basic awareness, the next thing is, okay, how can I build on that moment to notice how the grass smells when it's freshly cut, if that's your thing, or notice this cup of coffee, or notice when my kid is XYZ, or just when you're, driving along on a nice day listening to your favorite podcast or favorite song.
Or even like for me, some somatic mindfulness like is really important. So it kind of depends on what you want to focus your attention on, but it's really
Sure.
about focused attention. Obviously being in the moment helps with the ordinary, sort of being more in touch with the ordinary stuff, but also like being in touch with your body and what's happening there and being mindful there
Yeah.
and present and focused,
Right.
is really helpful and something that I tried hard to do. That one's easier for me
Okay.
than focusing on
Right.
what's going on around me. A lot of times I want to be in my body or in my head, but
In the
that
moment.
piece is really,
Yeah.
being in the moment. And in terms of your environment is really important too.
Yeah, I think, you had also talked about with this that life is spent in the ordinary moments.
Right. Like that's the majority of our,
Like
it's not weddings or vacations or Christmas morning.
it's like, what do we talk about? Like boring Tuesday behavior.
Yeah. And I was like, why is it always Tuesday?
And why it's Tuesday because Monday is
Monday's manic.
right. Friday is woohoo. And-
Wednesday's hump day.
And Thursday is almost a Friday.
Yeah. So Tuesday
So
is the
Tuesday.
most boring.
Tuesday's the most boring, but
We had
also
this whole conversation about
it was a great conversation. We have great conversations.
why is it Tuesday? I'm there.
But I'm telling you, I'm really appreciating Tuesday stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's great.
Like,
Yeah.
getting a basket of laundry folded or hung up. That's
that
awesome.
does feel really gratifying. Yeah.
It's the little things. And then I know that's, again, not holding still in the moment, but if you can appreciate and develop appreciation and presentness, even in those kind of things, even if you're not holding completely still,
Yeah, sure.
I think that can be moving towards being completely without distraction or like future focused,
Yeah. So if you find yourself, being like a lot of us and having a
Yeah.
hard time feeling focused in the present moment,
Right.
then we would encourage you to ask yourself
Oh, yeah.
psychologically
Mm.
what could be happening to
Right.
prevent yourself. And of course, there's just the mechanism biologically, right? And so we
Right.
need to practice being mindful, but are there psychological things that are occurring that are making it hard for you
Mhm.
to just live in the ordinary moment?
What am I avoiding?
What am I avoiding? What am I rushing towards?
Oh, that's a good one.
Right? What kinds of experiences do I not want to feel?
What am I avoid thinking about?
Exactly. Like,
Yeah.
is productivity part of my identity?
Oof.
Right?
Yeah.
Who else am I? Like, do I actually value rest? Or, have I been just told that rest isn't important? Like, what do I want? Who do I want to be?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think these are all really important,
Kind of tumble around with.
to think about. And in terms of like figuring out why you're having a hard time
Sure.
being mindful and then practicing that muscle, like you're saying, in small bursts
Right, without judgment,
without judgment.
if you can.
Yeah, if you can.
No, I think that's really helpful. And I think I love this conversation because I think it just makes me feel good to remind myself of the joy of ordinary moments and of the stillness. And I think it's just really comforting.
Yeah. So
Like,
is
there's
that
a-
what you're taking away from the
Yeah,
episode?
I
Yeah.
am.
Yeah.
I just appreciation for like the little things that add up to the overall enjoyment in life. And the stillness isn't something we have to be afraid of.
Yeah, we may be afraid of it, but it's
We don't
yeah,
have
but
to
you're
be.
but you're okay. For me, oftentimes when I do try to like when I make myself be still, I have to tell myself you're safe. You're safe, girl. No,
But I think that's-
lion's not chasing you and there's no fire.
Right,
but
but that's okay to say.
it's okay to say.
And that's important if that helps you, especially transition to that place. Do it, right?
Yeah, I think that the article and the episode was very validating for me. When I heard that statistic about more than 50% of the time, I was like, oh, okay, I'm not alone.
I'm not alone. Yes, this
alone.
is hard for other folks
This
too.
is hard, and I kind of knew it, but just seeing the number, like the stat, like on the
Yeah.
paper, I was like, "Oh wow, okay."
It's not
like-
just me that picks up my phone when I'm playing with my kid.
yeah, and it was this article too that helped me really start thinking about the ordinary moment
Mm-hmm.
and how important it is. And I think it even was partially inspired some of the happiness episodes. So it
Interesting.
kind of goes,
Yeah.
I think it's, yeah.
Well, I mean, again, I'm just appreciative of that and this conversation. And I think to our listeners at home and watching and listening, try today to find an ordinary moment and see how that goes for you and let us know. This podcast is intended for informational and educational purposes only and is not a substitute for therapy, diagnosis, or any kind of professional mental health treatment. We hope that we can share with you our experience authentically and genuinely, and we hope that occasionally we'll make you laugh. Maybe you can relate to our quest and how we're psyched for sanity. The content we share is our personal opinions and insights. They are not clinical insights to anyone, and they don't represent or reflect any entity that we work and or have worked for in the past. But if listening to this podcast has made you think, we really encourage you to seek out a mental health professional in your area.